This video is sponsored in part by Clutch Chairs. Clutch Chairs is the ultimate gaming chair and is the official game chair of the WWE and offers a wide selection of chairs featuring WWE superstar logos. Click our exclusive link in the description below to see if your favorite superstar has one or for more information. Clutch Chairs. Level up your comfort. Hey, yo, and what is up, everybody? Thank you so much for joining us here once again on the channel for this very, very special episode. We are here today to talk about the upcoming Mae Young Classic. We are going to preview all the competitors, and we are going to do all of that right here and right now on the one, the only, newest, hottest, fastest rising podcast in all of YouTube, the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. So let's do this for the ladies once again.
Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
Alright, wrestling fans, welcome back to the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show right here on Sledgehammer TV. My name is Nick Nightmare and I am your host. Along with me, as always, is Blue the Snowball Microphone, the World Heavyweight Champion of all microphones in all the world. And we are here to talk about a very, very special happening that is going down this weekend. This Monday, actually, to be more specific, it is the Mae Young Classic. I have been greatly looking forward to this all since they've, however long it's been since they've made this announcement. It feels like fucking forever, let me tell you. But it's finally coming upon us. The first 4 episodes of the single elimination tournament will be available on the WWE Network starting tomorrow night, Monday, August the 28th. Episodes 5 through 8 will be available just 1 week later on Monday, September the 4th, with the final match being streamed live from Las Vegas, where we had Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather go down just last night. If you could check my review on that if you want to hear what I thought about the fight. On Tuesday, September the 12th, live at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. 32 women from across the globe will battle it out to see who will be crowned the winner of this historic tournament, honoring the late, great Johnny Mae Young, who passed away in January of 2014. The first ever women's only tournament to be held by the WWE will have a Hall of Fame caliber announce team, with good old JR and Lita calling the action. Another first for this tournament, the Mae Young Classic will also be featuring the first ever full-time female referee in the WWE, Jessica Carr. It's certainly shaping up to be a very, very special event that can propel all of these women to great heights and right into the worldwide spotlight. And I say it's about damn time, because, I love women and I love wrestling. So obviously, I love to watch women wrestle. I grew up in a time when we had Glow. You know, women's wrestling wasn't really taken too seriously when I was a young man. We had the fabulous Moolah reigning supreme over everybody, and we barely even got to see that. More often than not, I got my fix for women's wrestling from the gorgeous ladies of wrestling that were throwing it down, really wrestling, not like anything else that was on TV at the time, and I absolutely fucking loved it. And it took the WWE a very long time, up into the 90s when they had Trish Stratus, to really elevate the women's division once again. You had Lita and Jazz and Trish and Ivory and Jacqueline, all these women that can actually wrestle, and they were pigeonholed into bra and panties matches and pillow fights and lingerie shit. Not that I mind seeing the ladies in their skivvies, because that's always fucking fantastic, but I wanted to see them wrestle. This last few years, we've gotten to see that with the rise of NXT and the coming of Sasha and Becky and Bayley and Charlotte. And Paige and Emma. Cannot leave them out. These are the women that really are giving us fans of women's wrestling what we're looking for on the main stage of the WWE. And with this tournament coming, I can only hope that they grab and hold the best of the best from this, and they don't do what they did with the Cruiserweight division and absolutely mess everything up after the greatness of the tournament comes to an end. Let's get to the competitors. This is part number 1. Like we said, 32 of the absolute best professional athletic females in the world. And we are going to go through the first half of them right now, with part number 2 coming on later on today or early tomorrow. We'll get back to that at the end of the show. So let's kick this thing off by heading over to the control room, where we are going to go over each and every competitor for the Mae Young Classic. Starting with Shayna Baszler from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, former UFC fighter, the Queen of Spades. Shayna Baszler is one of the true pioneers of women's MMA. She is credited with helping give rise to the likes of Paige Van Zandt, Miesha Tate, and her good friend Ronda Rousey, the 4 horsewomen of the MMA. She is the reigning AIW Women's Champion, Indie Girls Australia Champion, and Premier Women's Champion. An unapologetic devotee of catch wrestling, she has trained extensively under former UFC heavyweight champion Josh Barnett and studied under UK wrestling legend Billy Robinson, who is a full-time performer down at the NXT Performance Center. Look for her to make a big, big impact. Her roots in MMA and her friendship with Ronda Rousey, who is apparently incoming to the WWE, make her something to really watch in this tournament. I expect her to go pretty far. Marty Bell from representing the Dominican Republic from New York City, utilizing her athletic background and training by WWE Hall of Famer Johnny Rodz right here in Brooklyn. Bell has made a name for herself on the independent circuit since 2008. The New York City native is not only an accomplished singles competitor with titles held in New York Wrestling Connection, Women's Superstars Uncensored, and American Pro Wrestling Alliance, but she is also a champion tag team grappler, having co-held the tandem titles in Shine Wrestling and Women's Superstar Uncensored. I don't know much about Marty Bell. I've seen a little bit of her stuff on WWE.com. She's got a hell of a personality. She's a fiery one, and she really wants to do this for her family, and you get all these stories. She wants to prove it to the little girls everywhere. You could be a strong Dominican woman. I get it. I love it. I love everybody pumping themselves up, making themselves seem like they're going to win this thing. Marty Bell, I don't know much about most of these women, to be honest with you, but I think she maybe might make it out of the first round. Maybe. I don't know. But my expertise is very limited as it comes to most of these girls. I do know a couple of them, but not many. Let's get to the next one. This is a very, very big one. Highly touted by the WWE, Kyrie Sain from Tokyo, Japan. In the Japanese women's promotion Stardom, Kyrie is a 3-time Goddess of Stardom champion and a 4-time Artist of Stardom champion. I don't know what those are. Obviously, we don't get to watch Stardom here in the U.S., but feel free to leave a comment below and fill me in and enlighten me on how great it is or how great Kyrie is, because I don't know much about her. She is considered by many to be one of the heavy favorites to go all the way in this tournament. I do not know what has happened at the tapings. I have done my very best to stay away from all spoilers. I have absolutely no idea what has happened, but sources indicate that she is in the running as one of the highly favored competitors to actually win this whole thing. It will be something to see when Kyrie Sain hits that ring on the WWE Network. Mercedes Martinez from Waterbury, Connecticut. She is an aggressive and rugged, utterly unfazed by the bright lights or the reputation of any opponent she's facing, and she brings almost 17 years of hard-earned experience to this summer's tournament. She has compiled an incredible resume, almost to the point where it would be less for us to name where she hasn't won championships than where she has won. And obviously we all know she hasn't won at all in the WWE, and she is looking to do so right here in her debut at the Mae Young Classic. Up next, from Sacramento, California, we have Nicole Savoy. Known as the Queen of Suplexes, Savoy is well-versed in both Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu. Experienced on her feet and highly capable when things hit the mat. Her unique ability to hurt people has earned her a title in Shimmer promotion and praise from Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazine. Up next, Toni Storm, another very highly touted, very much publicized favorite to go a long way in this tournament from the Golden Coast down under, from Australia. An 8-year veteran of pro wrestling, Storm has a style and swagger clearly inspired by 80s Los Angeles metal, but her ring game is unmistakably 90s Japan. Her mix of Japanese strong style, British technical grappling, and the odd bit of high flying has taken her to championship heights in promotions all across the world, including Progress Wrestling in the United Kingdom, where she recently became the organization's first ever women's champion. Some pretty high praise there. Toni Storm looking to make a name for herself in the WWE at this Mae Young Classic. Her look is fucking great. I looked at some of her matches online through Progress and some of that stuff. She is fantastic. And I wouldn't be surprised to possibly maybe see a finals of Toni Storm versus Kyrie Sain. That would be an absolutely great finals match, but we will have to wait and see. I don't even know how the bracket stacked up. We didn't watch bracketology yet. I don't know anything about it. We are going up and down the list. I'm going to give you my thoughts before I hear everybody else's thoughts, so they come off as absolutely genuine and unfazed by the WWE machine or anybody else's opinions for that matter. Up next after Toni Storm, we have Mia Yim from Fontana, California, representing South Korea. A lifelong wrestling fan, Mia Yim followed in the footsteps of her in-ring idols Lita and Chyna, as well as legendary Japanese wrestlers like Akino and Aja Kong when she decided to pursue professional wrestling as her career. With 8 tours of Japan and dozens of appearances in Shimmer Wrestling Athletes and Shine Wrestling under her belt, Yim has a wealth of wrestling experience as well as a second-degree black belt in Taekwondo and training in Muay Thai, making her as dangerous a striker as you will see in the Mae Young Classic. Fans of TNA may remember Mia as TNA Knockout Jade, as she was doing her thing down there for a while. It's the first time I ever seen her. She's actually very, very good in the ring, and I look forward to seeing her in this tournament. Let's go to the next one. We got Rhea Ripley from Adelaide, Australia, the youngest competitor in the Mae Young Classic. Ripley is a product of Australia's rapidly developing independent scene. The 20-year-old prodigy has already 4 years of ring experience under her belt, including tours of the notoriously tough Japanese circuit. She's first established herself as a pillar of Australian promotion Riot City Wrestling, where she's held their women's championship on 2 separate occasions. Up next, we have Candice LeRae from Riverside, California. LeRae prides herself on her ability to endure punishment and keep on fighting. The fact that she has gone to war against heavyweight male wrestlers such as Cesaro and Kevin Owens and is the only woman to ever win a championship in the male-dominated pro wrestling guerrilla promotion speaks volumes about her toughness and tenacity. If this chick is throwing down with Kevin Owens and Cesaro, then she is definitely one to be afraid of. If she's not afraid to be beat down by a guy that likes a Kevin Owens, or take that friggin' airplane spin from Cesaro, or anything from Cesaro, that man's a super beast. Holy shit, Candice LeRae is tougher than you. That is a slogan, and that is definitely a motto to live by, and I can't wait to see if anybody proves to be tougher than Candice LeRae. Up next, we have Sage Beckett from Tampa, Florida. Hardened by the rugged training she's received at Bubba Ray and Devon Dudley's Team 3D Academy, the 5'11" Sage Beckett is as tough as they come. After breaking into the sport in 2007 and beginning to make a name for herself, health issues forced her to hang up her boots just 5 years later in 2012. But she put her education to good use and researched what she had to do to transform her body and returned to the ring. 2 years and 130 pounds later, Beckett returned to wrestling and now looks to prove herself in this summer's Mae Young Classic. That is an incredible story. Imagine having to hang up your boots because of something out of your control. Your health is failing in some way. And you're smart enough and you are educated enough to research what it is we have to do and successfully transform your body to get yourself back to do your dream. That is fucking fantastic. Sage Beckett, not just because she's been trained by the greatest tag team of all time, definitely should be one of the favorites to go a long way in this tournament. Probably not all the way, but I would say maybe even to the semifinals. This girl, from that alone, tough as nails. Up next, we have one of my favorite entries in this tournament, La Princesa Suhei. That's how you say it, Suhei. You don't hear the T, you don't say the G, it's Suhei. Okay, I'm still not sure what it means. If you know what it means, please let me know so I can educate myself. The Princesa is from Monterrey, Mexico. She has been a pro since 1996, probably the longest tenured grappler in this tournament. Suhei has competed at the highest level for Mexico's two biggest promotions, AAA and CMLL, for more than 2 decades. Wow. And is the reigning Mexican National Women's Champion. She is also the Mae Young Classic's only luchadora that has been entered into this tournament, which I think that's kind of a shame. I don't see why they couldn't have grabbed 2 or 3 girls from Mexico in case they didn't see anybody with much talent. I would have loved to see Sexy Star take place, but her contractual obligations to Lucha Underground definitely will put the kibosh on that. Plus, everything that happened with her this weekend, if you haven't heard, apparently she got into a big real-life shoot fight in the middle of the ring with Rosemary from TNA and the Team Decay. So we will get further into that on a breaking news. We're not going to sidetrack too far on that one. But the Princesa, being a luchadora, is absolutely an advantage for her. She is going to be able to pull out some spectacular high-flying stuff that we know always goes down in Lucha Libre. I am greatly looking forward to seeing what she brings to the ring. And Madame Butterfly, as I like to call her, is actually one of my favorites. She's one of my favorites. I hope that she goes all the way. I hope she wins the whole freaking thing. It's very highly unlikely, but I just want to see it. I want to see her be the champion of the butterflies, or whatever. I don't get it, but I fucking love her. I've never even seen her. I don't even know. I've seen a couple of pictures. This one is not even as good as some of the other ones I've seen online. This girl is out of her mind, and I hope that it comes across that way, and that maybe I'm not just anticipating something that's not going to be as good. So let's hope for the best. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what she brings and a level of Mexican injection to this tournament and get some flavor in there, baby. Up next, Bianca Belair from Knoxville, Tennessee. The NXT recruit Bianca Belair is one of the most talented, powerful, and promising up-and-comers roaming the halls of the WWE Performance Center. Before joining the WWE in 2016, she competed in track and field at the University of South Carolina, Texas A&M, and the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. That is not a resume or list of accomplishments that would make you think that this girl is going to be good at wrestling. But Bianca Belair did win the preliminary match that we saw on NXT to gain entry into the tournament. She was very good in that match. She definitely has a lot of potential. And if you're a track and field star, what do you have more than anything? You have endurance. You know how to breathe. You know how how to keep your wind, how to not, overexert yourself too much. Think about it. This lady runs track, man. I couldn't run around a track fucking once without blowing up in gas probably halfway through because I'm such an out-of-shape slob. Holy shit. Endurance, as we said, also talking about the fight last night, is key. If you have endurance, you can go for a long time, and that could always prove to be an advantage when you're working in a combat sport, because no matter how hard you get hit, if you could stay on your feet and you could be around longer than your opponent, eventually the other one's going to break down, and your conditioning is at the top level. You can run track at a collegiate level. So look for big things from Bianca Belair. That's not something to be taken lightly. We don't know about her wrestling background. There's probably not much. It might have even just started at the Performance Center. But from what I could see, she's progressing very well, and she's going to be something special in this tournament. Next is my absolute favorite entry in this tournament. And as we know, if you're a fan of my show, I am a sucker for second-generation superstars. And Tessa Blanchard from Charlotte, North Carolina, home of the Horsemen, is my absolute favorite in this tournament. Not just based on that, but because of all of the potential we could get if they book this girl right and give her momentum and make her awesome. Make her Charlotte level awesome. Because that's the end result. For her entrant into this tournament, the only end result that I want for her, even if she does not win this tournament, is to end up either teamed with Charlotte or feuding against Charlotte. Because that will make wrestling fans care. There is deep-rooted, long-term family history, real life, mixed in a little bit with wrestling, and it'll be magical. Imagine you pull an angle that Tessa's, envious of the Queen Charlotte, and that her father's always been looked at as the star of the Horsemen, and my father's never gotten the recognition that yours did, even though he did most of the work. We could go off on this all day, so I have to stop before we sit here and talk for an hour about the feud between Charlotte and Tessa Blanchard, which may never come to be. But Tessa Blanchard is the daughter of the WWE Hall of Famer and iconic Four Horsemen member Tully Blanchard, the granddaughter of the great Joe Blanchard, and stepdaughter of Magnum T.A., which I did not know until this very moment. Tessa is a branch on a truly legendary family tree, but she hasn't relied on her surname to reach the heights she's reached. Inspired to pursue the family trade after watching her father's 2012 Hall of Fame induction, Tessa debuted in 2014 in the world of pro wrestling and has traveled far and wide, including China and the Maritimes, to establish her own identity and ply her craft. Fucking fantastic. I cannot wait to see her in this tournament. If she's as good as I hope she is, there would be no reason to slow this down and bring this up. Bring her to NXT, get her maybe a NXT Women's Championship, and then bring her up to the main roster where you can have her feud with a Flair. A Blanchard versus a Flair is a fucking money situation. If you have them as a team first and let them, be like a little faction of their own, maybe get Tessa Blanchard into the Four Horsewomen. I don't know. Maybe I'm spitballing there, but does Bayley really deserve to be a horsewoman at this point? It would be a great launching pad. You started a Four Horsewoman faction without me, without a Blanchard, without an Anderson? How you can't call yourself a horseman without the horseman blood? Oh man, it would be so fucking great. I'm so much better at this than them. But let's, like I said, not get too far sidetracked on Tessa Blanchard, my favorite to win this whole entire tournament. My second favorite is the next entrant on this list, and that is Serena Deeb from Fairfax, Virginia, a 6-time Ohio Valley Wrestling champion and former member of the SmackDown roster in 2010, which she was famously made the bald-headed female member of CM Punk's Straight Edge Society, which I miss so much. That was an angle that never truly got its due, and I think she deserved to be featured a lot more, especially since she was willing to shave her entire head to just be part of an angle on the main card. absolutely fantastic devotion and loyalty that you showed by doing this for this company, and then she got pushed to the side. Deeb has unfinished business here in the WWE, and she has her sights set on a feel-good comeback story, and when she enters this tournament, looks to upset everyone and take the whole thing, and I certainly hope she does. It'll be a fantastic comeback story, underdog story, a redemption story, all rolled into one. Serena Deeb, one of my high favorites to win the whole thing, although she probably will not go too far. Up next, Vanessa Boren from Scottsdale, Arizona. With aspirations of becoming a WWE superstar, she switched gears and sought out training under Attitude Era superstar Gangrel after spending the first part of her life training to be a ballerina. WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi also helped to mold this superstar, and Bourne signed with the WWE Performance Center in 2016, and on the July 12th episode in 2017 of NXT, she defeated Jamie Hashi to qualify for entry into the Mae Young Classic. So another one earned her spot in there with a preliminary match. She did not look bad. I don't know much more about her outside of that scenario, so we will have to wait and see what Vanessa Bourne brings to the ring. And history states, if you have the last name of Bourne, your history in the WWE is usually not a good one. So let's hope she breaks that jinx. And finally, to end the first half of this list, we have Tanara Kunti from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, a black belt judoka and a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. Wow, that's some tough stuff. Kunti brings a joint-wrenching mat game to the Mae Young Classic that has already earned her medals in Brazil. Her thunderous throws help put her on the radar of WWE talent scouts, leading her arrival to the WWE Performance Center in 2016. Now, Kunti prepares to show the entire universe what happens when a judoka enters the ring. We've never had a certified real judo master in the ring. I don't even think for the guys. We've had lots of people come in and say they were judo masters and kung fu masters, and like superstar Billy Graham came back and thought he was a ninja for a while when he didn't want to be a superstar anymore. That was awful. But it's going to be interesting what her style looks like, what her kind of takedowns are going to do, how hard she hits. I can't wait to see these women. That's going to wrap up the first half of the field. Like I said, 32 is a lot to do all at once, so we're going to split it up into two. I hope you enjoyed it so far. Don't forget to tune into part 2 coming in later today, hopefully if the rendering goes well. If not, it will be up by early tomorrow morning. Either way, the previews will be up before the Mae Young Classic airs tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, I think, or 11 after Raw. I don't know why they would put it after Raw. They should just have it. It's probably just going to be up there on demand. See, I had a whole nice outro going with that, and then I realized that the WWE Network is fucking stupid, and they don't plan anything right, and my lead-in is much better than what they're actually doing. It's going to be up on demand. The first 4 episodes will be available to us all week long, starting tomorrow night after Monday Night Raw. Thank you guys for being with me here today. That is going to do it, and I am out of here. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time for part 2 of the Mae Young Classic preview right here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. And we'll see you then.